Welcome to the Authentic Human Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Vickers. Similar to how military and special ops use remote viewing to access secret information, I communicate directly with universal beings to better understand creation, existence, and evolution. For the past 20 years, I've worked with thousands of people around the world, helping them gain access to the highest level information possible so they can achieve their ultimate goals. Right now, I've partnered with the Creator and some of the most influential beings in existence to bring you the story of creation. My goal is to create a world where you remember who you are and why you exist. Welcome back to the Authentic Human Podcast. We are at part 24 of the story of creation. And yeah, let's see where this goes today and who of the universal beings want to share with us. So let's see. We have, feels like some new beings I haven't met before. Okay, so we're going to go with the. If you see or feel energy, I'm seeing them personally as they're like a blue light. Now, not like a dark blue. It's a quite light blue, lighter shade. And what they're showing me is so. I often refer to, like when I see blue energy, I often see healing, like deep, deep healing, like universal level healing. Okay. So there's physical, soul, and universal. And so I typically see blue as soul and universal, very deep healing. And these beings in particular, they're light beings. So what I mean by light beings is that they're literally lit up from inside, like all souls. But these particular beings they're like, the way they're saying it is governors, which is governors of this universe. So not like political governors here. They're like governors in the sense that it's almost like they're the power source. They're not the power source, but they direct the power source. And what that means is when we need more or less of energy in particular and specific types, they can increase or decrease the load of energy that is traveling through an experience, through a relationship, through time and space, but because time and space doesn't really exist, and yet it does because we believe it exists. So again, we have to go outside of consciousness and go really deeply into that concept in order to really and fully understand it. But right now, what these particular beings are sharing is they want to show you in this moment how to increase your load. What that really means is increasing your capacity to hold more soul and universal energy, because we have been, obviously, as a result of the manipulations that we've gone through, we haven't been taught how to use it. And I know that sounds ridiculous because it's innate in us, and yet it's not as innate as breathing. Okay? It's like when you go to school and you learn how to put one and one together, right? So it's math that tells you one and one is two. If we were living as the origins and the true intention of our species, we would be living fully conscious. And what that means is we would have naturally allowed those concepts to become a part of our existence. So it would have been less about the things we've been taught, like, how to eat, what to eat, when to eat, kind of thing. And it would have been more about how to hold energy, how to move more energy, how to receive more energy, right? It's broadcasting more energy and how to do it from a universal perspective. But we've been taught we've been taught the things that they need to use to control us. And so that's what these governors ultimately want to share with us today, is how to really wield more energy, if you will, how to use energy in a way that creates fulfillment for you, because ultimately that's what your energy is all about, right? That's why we were created. Because if we go back and we look at the concept of why we come here, and it is to fulfill our potential, right? So we're here to play, and you have direct access to the whole universe for that. But it's understanding that your ability to regulate energy within you is vital to your success. Why? Because it's through energy that every single thing in existence occurs. Every conversation, every experience, every awareness, creation itself, everything is through energy. And so really what the creator is saying is you need to learn the fundamentals of energy. You need to learn how to use it. You need to learn how to wield it, right? So you need to understand how it exists. And so that's why these light beings have shown up today. And they really are. They're like governors in the sense that they determine. Now, this is important when I say determine, because unlike your mind and how you determine from your mind, they are determining as a result of what they have conscious awareness of in the vastness of all of existence. So when they shift how energy is flowing through a universal experience, a soul experience, they understand what's necessary. So, for example, what they're showing me is currently there is a deep focus on the vibration and energy of truth. Okay. Now, most people think truth is just words and we can lie and it won't matter. Now, we all know that's not true, but we default to that because it's comfortable and because we're scared. We're scared of truth and we're scared of not hearing it. But most of us are scared of actually hearing the truth. Why? Because we've been manipulated strategically to avoid it at all costs. Why? Because we've been told that when we hear the truth, we're going to become uncomfortable. And as humans, discomfort is the worst thing that could happen ever, right? So in the last couple parts of the story, we've talked so much about getting comfortable in your discomfort, but now it's important to understand that your discomfort is vital to your success, particularly as it pertains to using, understanding, and wielding energy in a way that contributes to evolution. Because that is the goal. That's why you were created, is to consciously contribute to evolution. Now, evolution hasn't changed we haven't moved forward in the last at least 50,000 years. in the concepts of time and space. And so that's changing. We're in the process of changing it. That is why so many humans are showing up now, awakening to consciousness, having experiences that are changing your perspectives of existence itself. And that's why you're triggered to remember, right? Some people come in, like myself, and we remember from our childhood, and others have massive awakenings throughout our lives, right? For me, it was from childhood, and then it got covered up by the time I was about 13. And then at 29, I had a massive awakening. And so we're having these experiences together en masse. This isn't random. I'm not special because I had it. Okay. We're all having them because we're meant to. This is the time of revelations in preparation for this new world, right? This is why we had them. And so right now, it's understanding that when you have these awareness shifts, these absolutely transformative experiences that change life as you know it, your job is not to sit back and relax and go, wow, I'm awesome. You are. That's great. But it's time to move on. Your job is to sit back and go, why do I have this awareness? Why did it come to me? What am I meant to do with this? Because that's the point of the awakening. It's understanding that your soul made a commitment to contribute to this part of evolution and the resurrection of humanity. And your awakening is the human physical manifestation of that. So again, if we go back to original existence and intention and how, creation works, it's intention becomes energy, becomes existence. Your soul set the intention, and the energy has been building since the time and the moment you chose your family and you chose to be conceived in this world. And then it became experience as you evolved through all the experiences you knew you needed when you signed up to come into this life. And then there was a trigger that set you off, that helped you remember not only why you chose to come into this life, but to help you remember the truth of who you are, the truth of why humans exist, the truth of existence itself. You're meant to feel uncomfortable whenever you hear or experience something that is not in alignment with universal truth. Okay? So we've gone far beyond that whole my truth movement. This is my truth, stand in my truth. Don't stand in your truth. Because your truth is a perspective that you're carrying. And most of the time it's holding your traumas, it's holding your emotional reactions, and it's holding old history and patterns. Universal truth shakes everything you know to the point of creating an opportunity for change. Okay? That's what it's meant. That's what we're meant to be doing. That's what you're meant to be participating in. That is why you're here. That is why you exist. Okay? On so many levels. And so what these light beings are here to share with you is the opportunity to begin to feel the vibration of your soul. And then we're also going to shift so that you can begin to communicate with your soul a little bit more clearly. Okay? So if you are in a position where you can close your eyes, please do so. If you're driving, please do not. And just take a few breaths and relax. Ultimately, the goal is that you can do this at any time, no matter where you are. Okay? And so Notice the sensations that are running through your body right now. Allow yourself to feel your body. Maybe starting at your feet and just slowly moving up your legs, your knees, spending a little time in your hips, and just noticing how your body feels. Okay? Not judging, not saying, oh, yeah, that's that pain that I had the last week for the last year and it came from this person. Stop doing that. Just notice how your body feels. That's it. And then moving up into your digestive system. That's it. And then noticing the center of your chest, your ribs, your lungs, your heart. How's your body speaking today? And going into your shoulders. Just noticing if there's tension. Moving up your neck. And just going into your head, into your jaw. Is there tension in your jaw? Are you clenching your teeth? Are you relaxed? Is there tension behind your eyes? That's it. And just allow yourself to feel your body, okay? Because this is the energy that your body is putting out. Everything you just noticed through your body is the vibration that your body is putting out into the world right now. Okay? This is where a lot of people talk about this mind-body experience, but they forget that you can actually go further and deeper. And so now I want you to set an intention. What they're showing me is set an intention for your highest vibration possible in this moment. And just allow that awareness and that energy to begin to fill your body. It really is that simple. Once your intention is there to reach the highest state vibration possible for you in this moment, now I want you to scan again. Start at your feet. Notice how your feet feel, how your lower legs, that's it, into your knees, into your hips, into your digestive system, up into your torso, into the center of your chest, your lungs, your ribs, your heart, your shoulders. Notice even your extremities. How are your hands and your toes and your fingers? How do they feel? Now coming into your jaw. What happens when you set your intention to hold a higher vibration in your body? Yes. Just notice the vibration behind your eyes, but now also notice the vibration in your mind. What they wanted to show you is where you are with your capacity to shift energy. Okay? Now, there are people who have been doing this and practicing this for years, There's some people who do it very naturally, that your vibration will go right up the moment you can pay attention to it. If you found that your vibration didn't shift and change as you would like, it's because in your brain, there's a barrier or a block, okay, that says, I don't think I can do this. I don't know how to do this. Someone needs to show me how to do this. And the truth is, you just forgot. You forgot. In this life, you showed up and all the beliefs piled on top of you taught you to believe that you can't do it or you need help. But the truth is, you have 100% capacity to shift and change your vibration in minutes, even seconds. Okay? So, what the intention is and what the recommendation from the creator himself, as well as these light beings today, is to allow yourself, it's the way they're wording it is like, it's recognizing that it's not a privilege, it's a right. And it's accepting the fact that you were created to do this. This is not, a concept that's out there that some people can do. It is the foundation of existence itself. Why? Because in any given moment, depending on how you're participating and what you're participating in as part of fulfilling your highest calling, your reason for existing, you need to be able to shift your vibration. Why? Because things happen, and they happen just like that, right? Changes, surprises, craziness is consistently occurring. And your job is not to feel like you've been hit by a big, massive truck. Your job is to be able to go, okay, so what is the best shift in energy for me to be able to handle this situation and to be able to come out of this situation in a way that benefits me? That's your goal, okay? And most of us, because we've been strategically taught, it's important to remember that, okay? Do not judge yourself. It's ridiculous to even spend a second judging yourself on this. Most of us have been taught to get caught in, it's like a tornado, like a cyclone of emotions. So we have an experience and we get caught in this emotional turmoil and we're spinning and spinning and spinning. So we can't see through it. And then we feed that with more drama. Oh my gosh, I'm so uncomfortable. I'm so, hurt. I'm so whatever it is. Instead of taking a deep breath and allowing ourselves to say, what vibration? Because remember, vibration is energy. And energy is a universal a universal creation. And it exists universally if you choose to use it. If you're using an emotion, that's less than even physical energy. It's mind play. So it isn't even on the spectrum of energy at all. So you're not going to get any good results. That's the whole point of this entire call today, is if you are using your mind to determine your experiences, your emotions, your intentions, your goals, you're not going to create anything of consequence. You have to allow yourself to use your mind to get the concept, but then you have to take it into the energetic realm, right? Take it into the place where now it becomes an intention. How does it become an intention? Because you raise your vibration and you connect and commit to participating, okay? And then you're feeding it with your energy. You're allowing your energy to grow and expand. That's what these governors are talking about. This is how existence works. So as you're feeding your intention, okay, it will then become experience. Here's the problem though. Most people have this great idea. And then what they do is they think it and think it and think it, right? And they put all this amazing creativity and they're so inspired and it's beautiful. And then they start. And someone says something, or someone else says something, or it doesn't take off right away. And then what happens? Their energy shifts. So their energy is now feeding doubt. It's feeding fear. It's feeding whatever the other fears that the people have mentioned. It's also feeding those. So the intention is become something else, and the energy is that it's being fed is creating the new experience, the exact experience you're having. This is why understanding existence is vital to your success. Vital. Because if you don't understand that concept, you're never going to be able to overcome the fears, and because it's the demise of your joy. It's the demise of your fulfillment every single time you feed a fear. And yet we do it every day. Why? Because it's comfortable to feed fears. It is not comfortable to feed our greater vision. And that's the point. Your job is to make it comfortable. How? By taking time to feel the energy, feel who you're being. So if you have an experience or you've had a conversation, go through, scan your body just like we did. Notice how your body is feeling. If it's feeling tight, or if it's feeling light and joyful, or if it's feeling deep in inspiration, you can feel the different vibrations of all these energies, right? It's your turn to start exploring them. We're starting this, we're just at the beginning, part 24 of the story of creation. But there's so much you can do for yourself inside of the story. Is explore how different energies feel. And more importantly, explore your experiences from the perspective of energy, so you can start to understand how you're interacting in your experiences. And if you don't like the results, you can change them by changing the energy, just like we did today. It's not complicated, but it definitely takes effort. And you have to want to show up. You have to want to explore who you're being and be willing to change it so that you can actually have the experiences you want. That's really the secret to shifting this entire human experience from one of manipulation to one of consciousness. But you have to want to participate. So sit with that, give it a shot, let me know how it goes, and I'll see you in part 25. Thanks for now. Thank you for tuning in to the Authentic Human Podcast. I'm Michelle Vickers. If you're one of the select few who felt the depth and energy of universal wisdom in this episode, I invite you to join our private community, the Authentic Human Collective, where episodes are recorded live and the conversation and exploration go far beyond what the public is ready to hear. Find all the details at michellevickers.com.